And speaking of Claire, I know you know her, and then I promise we'll stay on track and we can wrap up. What do you think of all of that? I mean, you know her, she had her chance, now she's single again. Talk to me about all that. And I mean,
Yeah,
do you still speak to Claire? Like, are you close with her
I
now?
do. Yeah, I do still speak to her. I try not to, when I talk to her, it's more as a friend to say, hey, how are you doing? I'm here if you need me. And and she's been, understandably had her heart broken and is having a tough time. I did recently just see some photos of her with Dale somewhere, whether it's the reports are saying it's Venice, Florida. I don't know if it's Venice, Florida or Venice, California or what, but that's certainly interesting. And I have not spoken to her since that. So I don't know if there's been, an update, but I know obviously she was very hurt by what took place and by, Dale issuing this statement that was issued as a joint statement that, she did not know was being released. And obviously then, all the reports and the social media and the speculation and everything else as to why he did what he did. But, again, there's a situation where you have someone who already has a lot going for him and is a model and a host and a former football player and and has a big social media following even before the show. It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm not there. I have not been there with the two of them alone. So who am I to say? But it is hard to sort of overcome this assumption that he may not be there to marry Claire and to live with her in Sacramento, where her family is and where her mother is. It makes a lot more sense that he's there to increase his fame and following and at 31 and 8 years younger than she is and already has a successful following and to do things with modeling and hosting or wherever else his goals are in life. It is much more, I think it's much more reasonable to think that, but I'm not saying it's impossible. And I don't know him personally to know that. And so I don't want to say that that's definitely the case, but it's not really that surprising, I guess, if you think of it that way.
Have you told this to Claire?
I don't want to divulge the contents of my conversations with Claire, but I will say that I did say something that I think is true for many of us, and it is certainly true for myself. Sometimes the things that make someone so attractive and so appealing are also the things that make them not the most ideal long-term romantic partner.
What do you mean by that?
I think, we can be attracted to someone for being, dynamic and fun and out there and so, attractive, physically attractive and all these things. But sometimes because they are all those things, they're also just on a different path and are not on the same page at certain points, unless it's the exact right time in their life and you are that one person for them. And so I think that sometimes those things make those kinds of people not the most ideal committed partners because they have all of that and it's so fun and it makes them exciting. They're a challenge, they're exciting, they're giving you the roller coaster, the high highs and the low lows, but that's not what makes for a healthy long-term relationship, right? It should be someone that keeps you more or less stable, that someone that is dependable and is there for you and is not throughout everything and is not giving and obviously you want to feel the butterflies and feel all those fun feelings and feel chemistry and attraction, but is not giving you the high highs and the low lows and causing you to sort of spiral and go through those phases. I don't think that's healthy, but I understand it's like sometimes it's like a moth to a flame. We see those things and and I am guilty of that as well with some of the women I've dated and sought and you try to convince yourself that you're gonna they're going to be a relationship person and everything else, but really, they were never going to be that, and nor were they ever. And it's sort of, something that played out just in your mind, and you went after them for those other exciting sort of qualities that are much more difficult to harness and rein in.